Thank you so much for being with us, and welcome to Tuesday night. I'm Ken Meringolo. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, thank God it's Tuesday, where we will talk about obviously the most important events of the day as it pertains to the most powerful city on the planet. It's about the Washington Commanders. I'm Ken Meringolo. Once again, he's Tim Strachan.
Man, Victory Tuesdays are becoming a regular thing around here, and it feels pretty good. Everybody just talks about how greater life is when the Skins are what they are right now. And it's every Tuesday is great to be with you guys. So,
Kevin Ricca.
It really is so much better. And I vote for Lattimore all day.
I vote for Lattimore. Yo vote.
I thought we weren't mentioning election.
Well,
I thought we. Oh,
did you guys see that? Speaking of the PFT commenter tweet, it was pretty funny. He had like this long. I don't want to be serious. I'm never serious with you guys, but I just, and he talks about bringing a leader to DC to protect our exposed defenses, blah, 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 blah. Make sure that your voice be heard. Demand that the Commanders trade for a corner. I thought it was pretty cool. And that's what we did. So let's take a look at what we did. I got a little something here for us to get us started.
Graphics off the bat.
Commander-in-Chief Jaden Daniels.
Where are we at? Okay, so we got this going. So quarterback one, who is owed $16 million base salary. We'll talk about his salary, and we'll put some numbers up on the screen. Under team control for 2 more years. Well inside the Jaden rookie contract window. Huge talent. I mean, what else do you want your team to do? This isn't a rental. This is making our team better for the window that we think is open.
It is exactly what the doctor ordered. We talked about it down here. We said they're not going to mess around with this offense. They're in sync, but we sure could use some stickier dudes out at the cornerback position. And this dude is sticky. He is. There's only one guy in the whole team with more Pro Bowl appearances than him, and that's Bobby Wagner, first ballot Hall of Famer. This guy brings severe talent. He's got all that dog in him. And this is Terry McLaurin's boy from freshman year at Ohio State.
Yep.
You saw
his metrics, all the metrics showed that this was the biggest need for the Skins. And because we're 7-2, and because the only other team that's better than us is the Detroit Lions right now, because they're 7-1, Peters and Dan Quinn and them were saying, now we have to make a run.
And it's not, again,
and we need to fill the weakest league we have right now.
And they filled it for multiple seasons. That's the beauty. It's a 28-year-old veteran corner. He's our best cornerback right this very second. So that's just a reality. You bring in a guy like that in to be on your team for hopefully 3 postseasons.
Yes,
that's what we want. A veteran corner for 3, and we still make that. By the time he's hanging it up or whatever, finish playing here, that doesn't mean we're not going to get other guys to play alongside him. The coolest thing about bringing in Marshawn Lattimore, we're talking about him being Terry McLaurin's boy. We've talked about him before in the show plenty. He's like one of those guys that I always, had the lust over. You want guys you want badly on your team. I mean,
I wish my chair slid this way.
It's just the way. There's no other way to say it when you're like, I want that guy so bad.
Golden ticket to the Marangolo freak off. Marshawn.
Yeah, I need to get the new crab feature on
Patrick
my chair.
Crab wheel.
Patrick, what is that? The Hummer? It's the Hummer.
Yes, it's the Hummer.
It's the Hummer.
It is.
The Patrick Peterson was another one of those for me. Anyways, you bring a guy like that in. We gave up a third, a fourth, and a sixth. We get back a fifth and a starting cornerback on a 7-2 team. They didn't just turn Jahan Dotson into Marshawn Lattimore. I think people were trying to argue we gave up more draft capital, and it doesn't look that way. We gave up Jahan Dotson for Marshawn Lattimore and some. If you really after you balance this deal out,
how we improved in the 3rd round with the Miami pick is beautiful. The 6th round, we're going to have a better pick because it was from Miami, it was from Philly, but via Miami. And then in the 6th, getting that New Orleans pick and giving up ours, but keeping the better of both. So no matter what happens, we get the better of both. Fan-freaking-tastic. Getting that 5th back is a big deal. So essentially, that 6th was theirs anyways. They got it back. It was make it, take it.
Hey, you can have this back.
The 3rd was extras, Jahan Dotson business.
Yes.
And that 4th, 10 picks later, is the 5th. Now, there will be some compensatory picks. But 4th, 5th with a team like us who's going to be deep in that 4th, with a team like New Orleans who's going to be early in that 5th, that's no bullshit, man. We really, really. I mean, I think it was master class and how to just show up and show your skills off. We're going to talk about Adam Peters because we need to talk about Adam Peters.
He's got skills.
Let's
goddamn right he does.
Go back over to here just real fast. Here's Marshawn's contract. So we pick it up. So this cleans a lot of stuff up. If you've been watching Marshawn Lattimore for the last few years, we'll get this off for the moment so everyone can see everything. This is the contract he's under. It's a 5-year, $97 million deal. It's kind of a crazy huge deal. But if you look at that from a cap hit standpoint, 0 cap hit really for us this season. 18 a year for the next 2 for a veteran corner, like a top 5 corner in his age 29 30 season.
Jonathan Allen's old loot.
Jonathan Allen's 16 a year for them.
So $16 million is his base salary. We're picking up the roster bonus. I didn't break down the cash breakdown breaks down. Actually, we end up paying some extra cash this year, but I think we don't care. The headline is $18 million on our cap for the next 2 years. That's 6.5% of the projected cap for the next 2 years for your starting number 1 corner. It's pretty good value. And again, you can afford, and by the way, the reason why it's also so good, check this out. 2025 cap totals. You think to yourself, well, we just added a pretty highly paid guy. I mean, he's 28 years old and he got a $100 million deal. That has to cut into what we got going on. Based on our 2025 NFL salary cap numbers right now, this is all courtesy of Spot Track, of course. We have the 4th most cap space. So I believe we went from having the 2nd most cap space to the 4th most cap space. We still have 3 picks in the first 3 rounds and the 4th most cap space. It's just a slam dunk.
And it's not even just a position of need. The Philadelphia Eagles are staring right at us 2 more times in division with 2 badasses out wide. We got to match up if we're going to match up. And now we have the horses, I think. And they're not playing as good as everyone thinks they are. I think they're tough as shit. Yeah. I think that's our biggest hurdle, obviously because they're a division, not because Pittsburgh's not great, because the more important thing is those 2 games in division. But, man, that's such a gigantic thing. And St. Bristol does move back to the inside. The board was talking about it. I mean, we have
St. Juiced his load is lightened.
Yeah, but I still think
he's going to get a lot of balls thrown his way.
I know. It's coming now.
Yeah.
It's coming.
And he doesn't have to go up against the big boy.
Exactly. And that's very true. His
Lattimore gets A.J. Brown.
Exactly.
Because that wouldn't be fair.
Dude, Lattimore gets the number 1 dog. Listen, August 15th, 2021.
Lay it, Seacrest.
Terry McLaurin.
That's Seacrest. This is your Casamigos, sir.
Hello, sir.
We have plenty of ice and whatever you need. The Marshawn Lattimore, the deal with the Marshawn Lattimore salary cap space, though, what I wanted to say is you add Marshawn Lattimore in, and it's like the value of salary cap space. We've had a shit ton of salary cap space before, and when we've had no space and we've had shit signed up for. We have the 4th most salary cap space next year, and that includes having locked in our entire offensive line: Cosme, Wiley, Biotish, Allegretti, Brandon Coleman, Sinnott coming back, B. Robinson coming back, Austin Eckler coming back, Jaden, and obviously Terry McLaurin. That's on offense. On defense, locked in with still the 4th most salary cap in the league. That's Payne and Allen, Lattimore, Luvu, Dorrance Armstrong, Johnny Newton, Quan Martin, and Mike St. Ristel. So that's a competing team right there. Plus you have 3 picks and $100 million to spend.
And what you have to remember, we got to re-sign Jeremy Chin after what we just saw this past weekend. Bobby Wagner, I mean, he doesn't look like he's got any quit left in him. Why not stick around for another year or 2?
He's not breaking any banks.
Why not? And then he's not. Neither of those 2. Although Chin might get a little something there. But I mean,
freezer.
Farrell, Fowler. There's guys that we're gonna have to make. We're gonna have to make some plays with, and some backup receivers. Because we're going to go get another dude.
Well, how about we use some of that $100 million for a defensive end that's a badass?
Yay, let's do it. Why not? Why not take a peek on either side with a big-ass free agent and then re-sign our dudes and get to drafting and keep this thing rolling? But right now it's the Lattimore trade, and that was such a position of need. What a cool thing to go out and do. It shows us all, hey, all right, we're going to take a crack at it like T said. Let's take a run at this damn thing.
Also, it's
without interrupting our process of what we're doing.
Oh, he's part of it. He becomes like a key cog of the process.
Our record has interrupted the process a bit. I mean, he says, we're going to do this process, and we're going to be methodic about it. Except for the fact that we're basically in the lead in the NFC East and almost in the entire NFC, and we'd be dumb not to take a shot at this.
Yep. But he checks every box, T. And I was going to read this quote real quick. Terry McLaurin, August 15th, 2021. He has that, talking about Lattimore, obviously. He has that alpha mentality.
Yeah.
He wants to smoke every time, every time. Nothing but respect for him as a player, as a person. From the words of 17.
And when they played against each other, it was explosive.
And Terry had 4 catches for 40 yards. He shut him down. He had 6 PBRs. He was the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. He's been the NFC Rookie of the Week, 4-time Pro Bowler. Only 200 guys since he's been in the league have had more Pro Bowl appearances. Thank you, T.
You're welcome.
Only 2 guys have had more than him. And dude, Jalen Ramsey and somebody else. Can you name them? Can someone else tell me who it is?
Jalen, the most appearances in the Pro Bowl on the defensive side of the ball?
No, just
Ray
a
Lewis?
cornerback. Just a cornerback since he's gotten in the league. You have 3,
Gilmore?
2, and almost. He has 4. They're tied. Darius Slay.
All right, so I was tied.
Out of 30 guys that have been Pro Bowlers since he's gotten in the league, only 2 have had more appearances than him. This is a huge talent. Plus, he's kind of a freaking badass.
He's a total badass. All players know that he's a badass, right? So this is exactly the thing that this is like a Matthew Stafford level player in terms of respect of other players in the league. He had to want to come here. If Marshawn Lattimore did not want to be here, he would not have been traded here. That's a huge deal. We heard the stories about them saying people were trying to force their way here in the offseason and also now here to be traded before the deadline. We needed somebody to want. It's like when Jason Worth came here. It's like when Reggie White went to Green Bay. Somebody had to want to come here. I mean, we drafted Jaden Daniels. Obviously, some of these veterans like Wagner and these other guys, Eckler, we're happy to have him. But Lattimore is a bat. Lattimore is a right now guy. He's in the prime of his career, and he wanted to be here. With $100 million to spend, I mean, we can make our wish list all day, but they got to want to come here.
Of all people, Troy Aikman said on TV, if I had to buy stock in any one team right now, it would be the Washington Commanders.
Troy a penny stock. It's an NFL team.
No. I mean, I think he's kind of a meathead, and
he is.
Maybe he's been around too long, but
he's got huge hands.
He's shown complete bias against this organization while he has done games. And he is saying
Sanchez almost like Sanchez.
No, he's not.
He is saying if he's
is better
saying
than
it,
Sanchez.
You damn well know that players are saying it.
Who do you like better?
The
your
culture
game?
here
Aikman or Romo?
is changed. The culture here is totally changed, and I think people want to be a part of what they're seeing.
They do, but who do you like better, Aikman or Romo, to call your game? You had to have one of them call your game.
Ugh.
I know. You got to pick one.
I'd go with Romo. I think he's a little bit more.
Anyone?
I'm going with Aikman. Romo knows his shit. I hate the way he delivers it with his smarmy shit.
But he doesn't pick a side.
His horrible face.
Even in the Commanders.
No, he doesn't, but he doesn't stop talking.
He does.
He just At least Aikman's kind of an old school.
Troy's the old guy. I'll go with Troy only because, but he's starting to.
Give me Greg Olsen every week and no one else. How about that?
Yeah.
I want Greg Olsen.
By the way, Mark Sanchez.
Give Mr. Seacrest a seat. I don't want him to have to stand.
Come over here.
Wave to the camera.
Oh yes. Oh, paddle tennis. We have a paddle tennis. We're gonna trade for some of those.
Coming. All right.
So that's the teams. That's the status for the Lattimore trade. I also thought, okay, and we'll talk a little bit about the Giants game, but you have, you got 7-2 record, about halfway through the season. Let's throw up some stats. Let's throw up some season stats.
Graphic happy.
Let's see where we are in the league. Nice. We'll get rid of the salary cap space. That's just that's one you want to frame, by the way. That's one you want to frame. You just added a badass corner, and you're the 4th most space. All right, how about this? Let's get this over with, because I don't want to not do something that we say we're going to do all year long. Here's your stats for Washington and New York. I don't think we need to spend a ton of time on this game.
Got a drinking problem.
It was close, yet it wasn't close. I think there's things like I hated that we got run over. We lost in time of possession, which probably describes the closeness.
Just real quick, though, 20 rushes for 140 yards with 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. 11 more rushes for 24 yards. We know how to make adjustments. This is different. Joe Witt said, all right, make this idiot throw it. And he threw it pretty well. 16 for 22 for $170, but they didn't win.
But we're 29th, ranked 29th in run stop.
But I'm just telling you, the last 2.5 quarters, they had 11 rushes for 24 yards because we switched up our defense, took the run away, made goofball throw it. And we're the only team he throws against successfully. He hit that seam right at that tight end. He hasn't hit that shit against anyone ever. He hasn't thrown a pass in 680 days.
Lattimore's going to help with that, not because he's a great tackler, but because now we can put at least maybe one more guy in the box if we go.
He's a great tackler.
He's a great
man on
tackler.
half or even man straight up. I mean, it's going to allow us to be able to play the run better.
And Igbenogany is a hell of a tackler, and he'll be coming off the bench for us, which is a big deal. St. Just is physical, and you know damn well our guy St. Ristol is tackling you where you stand. We got a squad, man. We got a good squad.
Victor Maddox, the producer of
Get out of here.
is in the house.
Maddox in
Good
the
to see you.
house?
So what about this? This thing just keeps jumping out at me. So we win at like 27-22. I don't think it tells the story of the game. We were up by more. I think we kind of had the game in hand, but we got run over by the running game. But look at this: 0 turnovers again. Our lack of turning the ball over is I mean, first of all, it's a statistical anomaly at this point, but it's crazy. Yes. Yes. I mean, like that's how you win.
Right.
That's how you're 7-2 in a couple games where if you look back, all you can picture is Daniel Jones running over our guys.
We're collectively the best single team fumble recoverers of all time. We've got 9 fumbles. We've coughed it up once. We have 8 guys diving on the floor. We talk about it every week. I love it. Get on the floor.
We're so
It's
good
culture.
at fumbles.
It's culture.
I know. These guys are selling out to help each other out.
It is.
What if Adam
It's
Peters?
effort. I don't think people gave a shit before.
When do we get to talk about
but the Madden rating for fumble recovery, we're 99. We are 99 fumble recoverers. No one is if that ball is loose, there's a guy on the screen and
don't fumble in this basement. Listen.
But do not fumble in the basement. By the way, Ken Harris, Robert Cohen, J Dubs, EO, NES, Greg Martin, manner of speaking, Top Heavy, of course, all you guys, AGH, Rhett, Lance and Victor. It's a fun time to be a Commanders fan. The team stats for the Giants game, I'm just so happy to be done with the Giants. How about that?
All right.
We're done with the Giants this year.
All right, I'm good with that.
They're the worst team. They might be the worst. They're one of the worst teams in the league. And they kind of depress me. Like
they play hard.
I guess so.
They don't sweat much for
They've
a
got
fat
good.
for a fat
They've
guy.
got some good people on staff.
I'm glad we're done with them.
Nice team to have a hot dog with.
I guess I don't know. I hate the fact that whenever we show up, it's like there's no way in
You
hell
wouldn't want to have a beer with Daboll?
we should. No,
It's the
I'm done with
NFC East,
them.
dude. It's like
done with
watching
them.
Cleveland knock off Baltimore. You know what I mean? It's like it's
It's going to be better. It's going to be like so. We have Eagles twice, Cowboys twice. Obviously, who we are depends on how we do against the Eagles twice. Everyone wants to say like they're okay losing a game against Pittsburgh. Here's my thing. And no one's okay losing, but the idea that it's all coming down to these NFC East games. I see it as we have a chance to be the number 1 seed in the NFC at this point. I mean, we just do. I mean, we're 7-2. Obviously, the Lions are great, and they deserve to be considered the best team in the NFC. But we're 7-2, and we're knocking teams off at a clip. So we could be the number 1 seed. So I'm not giving any games away to the teams that people say it doesn't matter if we win or lose against.
No. This is our next 2 games. It's election night. It's a Keystone State,
Pennsylvania, dude.
Keystone State for our season right now. We got to go at home versus Pittsburgh, on the road versus Philly. You know what this means.
They said no voting.
This is as political as we're getting.
We have to take Pennsylvania.
And listen, we do. We got to take PA.
Pennsylvania.
We're going to find out about our party right now. We're going to find out what we got going on for real. This is our toughest back-to-back stretch by far of the season. We haven't had back-to-backs like this in forever. I'm stumping for the
It is
Washington.
the Commanders'
going down.
2024 campaign.
I mean, all right, that's it. We're done. That was bullshit. That was my fault. I started.
Oh no, we have to take. But everyone knows it's all about Pennsylvania at this time of year.
By the way, the Keystone is that bigger one in the hallway of the arch that holds everything together.
Of course, it's all about the Keystone. If you don't have the Keystone, it's just.
I love learning new stuff on Tuesdays with you, brilliant gentlemen.
Jeremy Chin, we talked about it. So I was going to ask you guys. So I named some names.
Bad son of a bitch on Sunday.
Defense. So Payne, Allen, Lattimore, Luvu, Armstrong, Newton, Martin, St. Ristol. Those are our main guys coming back under contract. That leaves some guys who are making big time plays for us that came here potentially to audition, and they see all the monies that we have. And
Jeremy Chin's getting some of them monies.
he has to, right? I think would the priority be Chin, then Wagner?
Wagner's always the priority. He knows his defense inside and out. He's the reason why we have.
I think at this point in his career, he's making that decision.
He led the NFL in tackles last year. He's top 10 this year. He doesn't.
He's not going anywhere, by the way. If he wants to play, he'll play here.
He's the heart and soul. He's the thing that brought this thing together the fastest. He's been in this defense with this coordinator so many years. He understands the hell out of it. And there's a bunch of new guys coming in next year. He's not done doing his off the field shit, but he is certainly not done. We've seen the way he's a wrecking ball still. But both those guys are a big deal. I do believe that.
On offense, I guess there's really, I mean, you think about it, we got pretty much everybody coming back. I mean, guys like Noah Brown. Once you get to next March or April, we'll see what the Noah Brown scenarios, because he could get pushed around.
You got to keep Noah Brown, man.
That's a guy, again, you can't imagine a guy that can break in the bank. Speaking of the Noah Browns of the league, speaking of these deals that went through, it had to go. We have to mention the fact that we get Jahan Dotson off our books for a third rounder, right? We see how that went down, all the way leading up to today. Devontae Adams, I believe, and DeAndre Hopkins went for what, 5th, 6th rounders, something like that, around there. The Cowboys drop a 4th rounder for old Johnny Mingo from the Carolina Panthers.
Sir, Adam Peters is playing tackle. The rest of them were playing touch.
What is going on? I mean, there was another wide receiver that was traded for like a 7th rounder, and I can't even think of it. It was Amari Cooper.
When we start talking about Adam Peters, I mean, listen, he's got a double life. There's no way that this is the person we're looking at. The guy's an assassin. He's a mafia hitman. He is a complete savage. He sits there with his smile and he speaks all polite like this, and his suit is perfect. His hair is tremendous. This dude is a definite made man. He is absolute. There's no way. There's no way.
He's daring Jerry Jones to make moves like this. This is like the guy in your fantasy league where you're like, oh God, he's gonna make this is like TJ Duckett. This is like
the only two I know that can make football seriously homoerotic.
Hey, hold on a second. How did that be? Where's my homoeroticism?
That chair over there.
I'm nervous about this. I said he's a made man. He's a gangster. Listen, he got hired by Pioli. Pioli's a New York guy. Pioli's a made man. Pioli married Parcells' daughter. He married Parcells' daughter. They have a kid together named Mia Costa. And I think that means, like, Peters is a badass in Italian. I'm not certain. I don't know much Italian.
I think the gallery.
I think you know way too much about his.
I told you. I think
third generation of his family.
I had to investigate his double life. Adam Peters is not who he looks like. There's a reason why we're 7-2, and he's got all the baddest assets, and he's in control of the whole entire scenario. It's just my thought.
It's just so easy to see the difference between what he's doing versus what they've been doing.
I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying.
You know how he got hired? His boss was out of work the day at UCLA when Pioli showed up. Was New England for the draft day. They hired him because he was so smart and good together with the guy, and they were like, "Yeah, you come with us," and he was like, "Let's go." Forget about it.
We're not paying anything
Forget about it. That's a true story. His boss was out sick, and he took over in the office as the GA that day. Showed film, talked about the guys in the team. Pioli was ecstatic about his knowledge of the sport. And look, it's like
wow,
it's like Henry Hill all over.
It is like Henry Hill. You reminded me of Jonah Hill.
Please never say that again.
You're just reminding me a little bit.
I'd be so happy if you never say that ever again. Kevin
Not you, personally.
You remind me of Kevin Burkhardt again. And I said I would never say that to you again because you hated it. You just Jonah Hill.
Me?
Yeah, Burkhardt.
I don't even know. Oh, Kevin Burkhardt. Actually, I don't know. That's probably a compliment. I mean, for a guy like me.
You said that last time. And by the looks of your face, you hated it. You hated it.
I have to take a... I mean,
you didn't like it. I don't like Jonah Hill at all.
If you... I was saying
he's
your
like
story reminded me.
He's like the moobiest, gross-looking dude of all time.
He's been in some pretty good movies.
How about
this? Is so gross.
You've never reminded me physically of him, but didn't he lose a lot of weight for some role?
It doesn't matter.
Have you let your hair?
Seen my wiener?
Ask me about my wiener. Ask me about my wiener.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for the comp, Ken. Love it. You look like a Oscar Mayer, Jonah Hill guy.
I'm trying to remember. He definitely slimmed down for at least one role.
No, but he looked terrible. He had a huge noggin and a tiny weird body.
But
he's funnier. He's funnier when he's fatter.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I think that goes for most people.
Yeah. Well, the Moneyball
Who got
aspect,
skinnier and fatter in the history of comedy?
I don't know. But who got hungry? Well, there was like the cocaine era.
Bored. I know, but that dude started not being as funny after
skinnier.
After 10 years,
like
on
Richard
the White
Pryor,
Horse.
he got pretty thin a little.
But he was
for
already
a hot second.
funny.
That's
before
true.
He got
Okay, so we're saying who got skinnier and less funny.
We don't need to focus on that right now. Just Let's throw that out there.
We're focusing on all the wrong things.
Trust
project.
me.
Side
Why don't we talk
project.
about Adam Peters and
Well, because Brewster's Millions was on last night, and I was watching it, and John Candy, who's neither slim nor unfunny, was up in my face all night long. All right, so how about this? We had a good example, I thought, because we talk about like what you need to be like a good organization, and one of those things that you have to have is you can't just have like a number one wide receiver. You have to have somebody who can be dominant in the red zone, somebody who the ball's going to them, and you put that label on a lot of people, and it doesn't doesn't mean anything because whatever.
Tremendous catch radius.
Yeah.
We've gone 0 for 25 with catch radius.
It takes a quarterback and a wide receiver at the same time to establish that go-to red zone guy that every great team knows.
Takes two to make a thing go right.
Yeah, it does,
Okay.
T. It
All right.
absolutely does.
I see what
You
you're
can crab
laying
walk right on back over here.
I see what-
Crab
I'm
roll
not
right.
sure about-
Crab roll
I'm
that
not
shit
sure
right
about
on back
that.
over here.
Crabs.
So that was to me the importance of that first touchdown at Terry McLaurin, where he like stepped in, did a little shimmy, and then the ball was out in 0.6 seconds.
A strike route. It was a strike route.
Just a strike
I heard
route,
that,
Mark
I heard
Sanchez.
That on television from,
Oh God, Sanchez.
Oh God, Sanchez.
But that's what a quarterback and wide receiver on this. That's what that connection can mean for a great team. We saw it with Mahomes and Hopkins, who've been together for 10 seconds, but they're both great. Hopkins put a move on a guy. He's in the end zone twice. He gets the ball.
Mahomes threw it up. Hopkins came down amongst three.
Yes.
And came down
Yes.
to one. That was great. That was great connection.
But the touchdowns, his
No,
touchdowns were
it was
in the red zone.
Hopkins is a badass, and he's
Yes.
going to be great with Mahomes.
And it was a perfect opportunity because watching that play, that he put a move on the guy and he caught the ball at the end zone, that was very similar to that. That's the move. That's the play. If you have a dominant quarterback and a dominant wide receiver, you're going to get that. You're going to be able to be NFL open. You talk about being NFL open, just having this much room. Jaden Daniels can put it there and he can catch it.
Touchdown was more.
Oh God! Even
That
a better
ball couldn't-
example.
That ball couldn't be any better.
That's right.
It was in the only place that he could get.
Oh God! It was,
I mean,
did you see the Jablava
Terry
had
knew
it
he could do
from
it.
the end zone view?
Yes,
The end zone view on the route that got you all had to change your.
it was
outfit.
here. That ball was like
and then
off the
and then
ground.
that throw.
Was like this.
It reminded me of the quickness. The
Dan Marino.
yes, but I'm going to say Aaron Rodgers is the last guy I
Okay.
saw do it at our place. Where you're like, God damn, where else could that ball have been?
Yeah.
And it was boom, boom,
Yep.
boom,
It was
boom,
so fast.
boom, boom.
It was a heater.
What the shit are you talking about? You have no chance.
Hard catch too, by the way.
And you know that dumbass corner was on Insta last year talking straight up shit about Terry.
yes.
Did anyone see 17? Did anyone see 7? He went all in. You think
After he pass interfered on a play
Terry
of
forgot?
the
that
night
shit
game,
comes up and bites you.
and we
in the
didn't
And
get
ass.
the
that's
call.
why he got smalled. He got Biggie smalled. I love that. I love it.
Bro, what?
Yep.
That's the best penalty now. Take 15 yards unsportsmanlike all
Yep.
day long with this new kickoff rule. All the guy just kind of landed in the landing zone. Kick it nice and high, drop it in. I mean, people are getting. By the way, people are getting leveled on this play. The whole injury thing. Like, I know we can kick it out of bounds. People can down it or whatever. Like, it remains a violent play, and it's a great play.
Yeah, but they're not running down with 40-yard head starts. So
Just holding hands,
yes.
bravehearting it down the
Who
field.
wants to be the wedge breaker today?
I always remember Chris Cooley, talking about that extensively about being a wedge breaker when he got into the league. I mean, he was a heavy hitter. He did not want to be a wedge breaker. I mean, no one
Hell,
wants to
Gross
be.
Evan wants to be a wedge breaker.
You don't wanna do it.
That means you automatically have something wrong with you.
Yeah, of course.
Alvin Walton.
Oh, exactly. Otis Wansley, Reggie Branch. I think that
Hold on. What about your 19-year-old, 18-year-old Canadian Football League contract? Come on, he's your guy.
Stabby.
No, who signed a contract at 18? You told this story 100 times. His parents had to sign it for him.
What?
Wedge breaker for the Redskins. Tight end, fullback. He was a wild man.
Excuse me.
You
Wait,
told
I should
the
know this.
story. You told me the story.
I'm
lost.
Mike Sellers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What was it?
Jesus.
Wallahu or something like that. The name of the
Walla
college?
Walla.
Walla Walla.
Junior college, yes.
So, anyways, having Terry McLaurin's been here for a while, and he's our go-to guy. But you don't have you don't have a go-to red zone thing until you got the quarterback to go with it. They've they could beat some people up on the regular if they start getting in sync like that. The other thing here, we got we talked about Jeremy Chin. We talked about the trade. I guess the running back by committee, the kind of like the last thing I kind of want to talk about, just because
Chris Rodriguez running the ball like a man.
he kind of ran. And by the way, Jeremy McNichols, they both
He's
run
a heck of a
hard.
player, man.
Now, what is that? Because it's a tough job being running back in the NFL.
That's that dramatic pause. I was really waiting for some like just earth shattering.
I'm trying to think of like how you get up for
tough job, T.
It's getting up to do that job. I mean, it's man's work. It is hard.
There's 80,000 people there, and they're giving you the rock.
And yeah.
That's a pretty good gig.
I know, but you're running straight at 3 or 4 350-pound dudes like Vita Vey, guys who can end you, and they love it. I understand, but the way that Chris Rodriguez and Jeremy McNichols run, I mean, even Austin Eckler, they all have. Like, they run hard. I mean, there's guys who don't run hard. I mean,
we have tough-ass running backs.
Guys.
We have a stable for a reason, because everyone at every position on our roster is tough as shit. Not all of them are talented as shit, but we're working on that. And we got lots of money and lots of time.
That's the other thing I was thinking about. Like, think about how many running backs. I mean, he's been in the league 8 years, right? How many running backs come and go? I think the average career of a running back is like 2 years, 2.3 years.
It's like 3.5.
Like, how are you smart enough to be like, I know if we need to give the ball to Jeremy McNichols, he's our guy. I mean, that's it's just it's another example of. I mean,
he was in San Fran, and they watched him, so they were like, "Come out east."
That's just so. That's
for a very tough job.
Smart.
But, well, we're pretty good at talent evaluation, and we know what we want out of our running backs, and the guys have to be able to protect. You see him chip. These guys don't just go and give you a little. These guys are all dogs in the pass protection game. They can all catch it out of the backfield, and they can run the ball. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious. That's what we need out of each and every one of them. Each and every one of them brings that to the table.
Yep. Yeah, there's no change of pace.
No.
It's just
we don't have a guy that catches, a guy that blocks, a guy that runs. We have three dudes that do it all.
I think B-Rob runs harder than any of them.
Oh, there's no doubt.
He's an animal.
He's the baddest. He's the baddest dude back there.
We missed him. We missed him.
I hate that. God, that was a kick to the nuts right before kickoff.
That hurts. That hurts Jayden Daniels.
Thank God we got the other three.
Yeah, of course. And when they were rattling off 9.5-minute drives, and running the ball down our throat, it kind of takes the wind out of your sails.
And shout out Bobby Johnson. We don't say that name enough. Offensive line coach should be the assistant of the year based on what he's done, based on what we didn't do last year. Last year, this week we were 4-5, getting ready for a real nasty 0-8 run. Right this week we were 4-5, and it was because we could not run the ball. We could not run the ball 1 yard.
That was our high watermark.
I know.
It didn't get any better than that.
I know, we didn't. It was a tough, but guess what? All those 8 weeks and everything else that had to happen for us to get that number 2 pick, I think we're all right with it.
And we were worried about getting number 1 to get Caleb. Okay, so I don't relish Caleb Williams getting the treatment of a guy who's. I mean, he's putting some stuff on tape right now that obviously it's making people nervous. Holding the ball a little bit longer and. Whatever. We know he's going to be great.
Never supposed to be ready like Jaden.
He's being a rookie.
He was never supposed to be ready like Jaden is right now. That was not part of it.
I don't like it for him.
I get it.
But I'm glad
he's going to be great.
It's just another thing that's making our guy look that much smarter.
Because he is great. I mean, that's the difference. He's great right now. He came in ready for this league. Caleb's a great football player. He's going to have to figure this league
today.
This is another reason why I love Caleb Williams. Ever since we called his game, we've been watching him forever. If it wasn't for Caleb Williams, we wouldn't have gotten Jayden Daniels.
It's true.
Without Caleb, Caleb is my man forever for that. He's such a generational prospect, and everyone thinks so highly of his ability to be great. He had to be in that exact spot in that exact moment.
We needed to be great right now, but we never thought we'd be 7-2.
Hey, no, I didn't think we'd be
to defend him
4-13.
To defend him and criticize him at the same time. He brought it upon himself. I mean, he has created this, through his play, through his off the field stuff, his painting the nails. People make a big deal about.
You hate the nail painting.
You hate the nail painting.
Have you seen mine recently?
No, I don't. I think that is part of why people hate him.
I agree with that. Everyone hates the nail painting.
Yes, they do.
Like my
He
dad
brings it
doesn't
upon
love it. My
himself.
uncle does not love it.
No,
Come
maybe
in,
my
it's like,
brother.
it's like I actually did the brushstroke.
What's
So it's
going
a thing.
on?
I'm
So
like,
it is a
hello,
thing.
what?
It is-
I didn't do it. I
it's a
didn't paint
thing.
his nails.
It's a thing. It's a thing. And I think that brings more heat on him. And when he's not performing at the most elite level, like Jaden Daniels is, then people are going to come down on him. I agree with you. He's going to be good.
Yeah.
My point in bringing this all up, Jaden Daniels doesn't have any of it.
No.
He has none of that.
Do you
And he had
see-
no expectations. And he is far exceeding anything that anybody thought he was capable of doing.
He looks so calm all the time. I'm like, I don't
just
even
smiles.
know. Yeah, and he stands there. I'm like, wait, someone nudge him. Does he know like it's like 3rd and 8? Like, I don't know. He looks like he doesn't know what's going
If
on.
you can throw a football that
He puts
quickly,
his
that
hands
far,
in his
that
pocket
accurate.
Yeah,
right
he's just
before
like,
the ball
mm.
snapped. I'm like, what is he doing? Get his hands out.
No, that's what he's thinking. What are the 11 of you doing right now?
And by the way, talk about his accuracy. Watch C.J. Stroud. He was on national TV last week. He'll be on national TV plenty more. He's a great quarterback. But what he does great for him and for the Texans, Jaden Daniels does so much better. If you watch C.J. Stroud play, he's great. He's not that accurate. He is not even close to that accurate. He can move.
Who is this?
I know. No. But it's crazy because people thought he's had an amazing rookie year as well. And he statistically, it was just a good year. He had a great year as a quarterback. There's 2 quarterbacks right now that have a higher completion percentage right now in the league. I believe it's
Jared Goff has got to
Jared
be one
Goff
of
is
them. Every
number
week
one.
it's like 27 for 28.
yeah. He's 74%.
Yeah, it's got
And someone else is Mahomes. It might be Lamar. Jaden's number 3. That brings me to our closeout here. We got some team stats for you. So, all right, so let's start on the offense. Total yards per game as stacked in the league, 3rd best in the league. I'm sorry, this is for offense. Yeah, total offense per game, 392 yards per game. That's 3rd best in the league, only behind Ravens and Niners. We're playing the Steelers this week. They are way down there. You can see we out yard them. We out-yard them good.
We out-yard you, sons of bitches.
We out-yarded
Boo, Pittsburgh.
You guys you didn't even know what was happening. All right, here we go. Offensive passing yards per game. This is where we're, 228. That's what 11th best in the league. Rushing yards per game. Let's just do that real fast for the offense. The
Third, baby.
3rd in the league behind the Ravens and Eagles.
But they're 8th. They run that thing with Najee. They love running that thing, but they were way better with Justin Fields at the helm. That's gotten them some of their clicks. For
By the
that
way, are
8th
they?
seed.
Who's if it has to be one of these 2, who's the quarterback for the Steelers next year? Russell Wilson or Justin Fields?
I told you the theory.
That they're saving Justin Fields?
Saving Justin Fields.
I don't
Because
agree
if
with
they
that.
cut Russell Wilson or something like that, if he plays more than 50% of the snaps,
Justin.
yes,
Yeah.
then they owe something.
I don't think that's. I don't think the Steelers play those games.
They're going with Russell for now, so that he doesn't break that.
Russell's
threshold.
look great.
But that Fields is the future.
If you had to pick one of the 2, if you thought, it's a crap
Probably
dice.
because Russell's just so weird.
I'm happy that we're playing against Russ and not Fields, to be honest.
Me too.
Our specific defense struggles a bit with a guy that can take off and just get 40 on you. Daniel Jones does it to us all the damn time. But right now, we're at that level that let Russ sit back there.
Little Russ.
Wow, he's so cute. He's like he's a little Alfonso Ribeiro-ish.
so weird.
A little Ribeiro-ish to me. Like he's
weird. as
Carlton
shit.
Carlton
yeah.
Banks.
Oh God, that meme of his girl at the draft night. I can't get her wide mouth bass out of my head right now.
She thought she was
Oh,
basically.
my
She
God,
thought she
her
was
mouth
a
was
gazillionaire.
It was like hungry hippos, and I was one of the.
It was
I was a
hungry
marble.
hippos.
Ah!
He
Danger
he's-
Russ.
Maybe
He's
that
the-
was his
he's-
favorite feature.
he's
I
great.
don't know.
He's doing just fine. He's by far. But I'm like at some point, as somebody who now has the benefit of a defense that can get to the quarterback, and now we have a cornerback who can cover. I'm like, give me every pocket quarterback I can find.
Yeah.
Like, why doesn't everybody like? If you have a quarterback who can't run or has no threat of being able to run, then you don't have a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, that's why Philly scares me a little. Jalen
Unless you
he
got
can get
guys
around a little
like
bit.
Rodgers.
Rodgers can move.
Yeah.
But by the way, he can't move anymore. And guess what? They're not a Super Bowl team.
Well, they're not.
No, they're not.
You guys have such ADD on topics right now. I thought ayahuasca
It is
was
true.
coming
It is
out.
true. All right, let's.
Well, it's not as bad as you think it is. I mean, here's in certain scenarios.
I don't know. We were talking about something even more random earlier. I don't even want to remember what it was because it was.
No, you were lusting
you putting up there?
after men.
All right, let's go on
or
the defensive side of the ball. Let's see. Defensive total yards per game. Middle of the pack. There we are, middle of the pack.
Sounds about right.
And that's based on this number, which is defensive yards per game. Now here you go. You might notice we're not on the screen. We're just gonna have to cycle down there a little bit and wait a second.
Oh,
wait
boy.
for it.
Oh,
yeah.
boy. Oh, boy.
Not good.
Nope.
People are running on us.
Oh, we're 29th.
Yeah. We're not a good running defense.
29th, and if you
And
scroll
it
back
was
up, you'll
obvious.
notice that they are top 5 because they are.
Yeah.
It's
I
obvious.
can't see
the
that far.
Giants
I
knew
write it
that.
down now before I get here, so I don't have to wear my readers.
Yeah, that is fourth best rushing team.
It was
rushing
obvious.
defense.
It was obvious the Giants knew that. That's what you got to do when you come in against the Commanders.
That's why I like that Joe Witt makes the adjustment. For 2.5 quarters of 24 yards on the ground after we got stomped on.
It's going to be interesting to watch how they game plan for TJ Watt because we're going to have to worry about guys like that going forward. I'm looking at the schedule. I mean, however you want to, wherever he lines up, Micah. Obviously, you have TJ Watt. The Eagles have a couple different guys. Forget about the Cowboys. Forget about the Titans. Saints are gutted. But Falcons have guys. So
well, if you listen to the guys that saw Brandon Coleman play left tackle this week, and you see some of the analysts,
first full
talking
game of
about
the year.
him,
First full game of the year.
coming off an injury, and people are talking about him like he's a upcomer, and I think they might be right. So we're gonna stick that freak athlete on him. That heavy-handed,
a
light-footed
starting left
bastard.
tackle in the
He's gonna
third
get a little
round.
help though. He's gonna get some chips.
That's
Oh,
nuts.
absolutely. From our badass running backs that are physical as shit. Like, this is who we are now. It's so much fun that we're the tougher team a majority of the times on Sunday. We are the bigger, badder, tougher team. Who's the more talented? Well, we're getting there. But right now,
Fifth best passing
shit.
defense in the league. That's what that says. Now, we addressed that today with Marshawn Lattimore. I think, and that's 9 games. That no one's played more games than us. So there's a couple teams that have played less that are averaging less than us.
And we're getting some heat on quarterbacks now.
not good teams.
And we still got 5
Will
home
Levis.
games and 3 on the road. Our home game column is still awesome.
Home game column's awesome. NFC column's awesome. We're
Yeah.
it's
Five
all
and
good.
5-1.
The thing about putting Marshawn Lattimore on, you're like, oh well, we're a decent passing defense. If we continue to play the way we're playing, we're going to be playing against offenses that aren't going to be able to run on us. They're going to have to pass.
And has anyone seen that guy tackle a running back before?
Oh, he's a
He
tackler.
doesn't come up and grab your ankles. He tries to knock the shit out of you.
Here's your total yards a game, which we did, and we're going to go back to here.
Yeah, we did. We did it.
Just a little run through. Let's bring this guy back on. You know who we haven't had on for a while? I think Ken Harris was requesting an appearance.
T-Mom.
Team Mom. Where's Team Mom?
Every time we play Najee and Carl Pickens, Pat Fryermuth brings out T-Mom. We got to go up against Fryermuth.
Oh, T, you're being
why,
covered.
Why she gotta sit on my
It's the
face?
T Mom, not Team Mom.
Oh, my God, T.
Yeah, let's get her. Let's put her.
He's having a hard time breathing.
I just got pink eye.
We'll just cover. You know what? She perfectly covers up the Bruce Springsteen picture in the back. It almost looks like she's hanging from the wall.
Glad you caught your breath. We'll worry about that pink eye later.
TR's in the house. NES Tecmo. What's up, guys?
TR dropped a 6 stat earlier. Dude, seriously, it's just, there's so many goofy ones, but 49% of the Commanders' offensive drives this season have reached the red zone. That's number 1 in the NFL since at least 2000.
Yes. Go on.
And 61% of our drives score points. That's Warren Sharp via TR.
Did you read the conclusion?
This is why we had to be buyers.
No.
Got to dance. Then it just takes 4 in a row.
If you're top 10 in those categories, what we've done hasn't happened since 2000.
He put that on the board.
Yeah, those teams make the Super Bowl almost every time. Yeah, but that's a whole season's worth. So again, I think it's just another thing of how we get a chance. We have the right to look at ourselves. People are worried about making the playoffs, and I'm saying I'm worried about getting home field advantage all the way through and a bye in the first week because I think it's right. There's no reason why we shouldn't think that way.
Over a month ago, I said home playoff game hosting the San Francisco 49ers.
If we played a playoff game, if the season ended now, we would host the
Cardinals, I think. We'd be the 2 seed. I think the 5
We would
and
be the
4
2
as
two
the
seed.
lowest of the. Oh no!
I don't think it's
we play them
Arizona.
in the second backup. We play
Yeah.
the 7. Who's the last team with a winning record?
Yeah,
They're
Cardinals
the
would win
4
their
seed.
division.
Who's the last? I'm sorry, I screwed that up. Who's the last? There's 7.
Falcons.
There's only 7 teams with a winning
Might be
record
the-
right
it's,
now.
It's,
in
it's
the
going to be an
NFC.
NFC North team.
There's
I
only
think.
7 teams with winning records. So whoever has the 5 and 4 with Arizona, but they're in first, so they get the 4 seed, obviously. So
That's why
I thought it was only 7 teams with winning records.
Let's just. I think it might be the Packers. But I'll tell.
We got our correct squad looking it up.
But either way,
I love it.
Either way, let's be the number 1 seed. I mean, let's go after Detroit. I mean, they're a great team. You know what? And that's the beauty of it. Like we've earned the right to it's the Packers.
Packers it is. Thank you, gentlemen.
We've earned the right to chase down the lines. You know, let the Eagles and Cowboys chase us.
I believe that we can beat anyone. I also know that there's 10 teams that can beat us, and we can get tripped up by anyone also. But I just don't see anybody in this NFL aside from take out the Chiefs. I'll take them out. They've won back-to-back Super Bowls. They're undefeated. They're
Don't got to
badass.
play them till the last game.
Aside from them, I don't know why anyone else is great. You know what I mean? Like, is anyone else?
I would have said Baltimore if they didn't
Yeah, we
randomly
still
lose
gotta
those
stay-
games.
Baltimore's a tough matchup for us.
We still
It
got to
is.
stay hungry but humble.
Yeah.
If you have Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry,
listen, I'm not saying we're
that's
like
not
this
fair.
juggernaut. I'm saying in a one Sunday scenario, say it be playoffs. Say you get in there, and it's like TR's saying, you got 4 chances to dance. In a 1-game scenario, I'm not going to be shocked if we beat someone or if someone beats us at all.
By the way,
anybody
there's a one specific team that we've done very well against historically in the postseason. So much so that when
Atlanta,
nope, we have done that. But
the Too Legit game,
the Too Legit game, the seat cushion game. And I'm
MC
saying
Hammer on the sidelines.
it was only recently reversed, but our record against Detroit in the postseason is outrageous. We the feeling you get when you play the Detroit Lions, we got as a kid.
Jarius White pick 6.
I mean, they had Barry Sanders, and we beat them in the playoffs. Barry Sanders
I was
could not.
there. I was
mean,
there.
they could not
I
beat us. I'm not suggesting that has anything to do with Jared Goff and Jahmyr Gibbs. However, football is a game that it goes surreal. I mean, we all believe it. So
Can I say something real quick? Dan Campbell and Dan Quinn have sometimes I confused them before Dan Quinn became our coach.
Yeah,
They have this kind of way about them, and they're building these programs with these guys in the front office that were never there before at franchises that struggled like shit for the last 30 years. Tons of similarities. If we can stockpile like they have, I think we're on a better trajectory. But they've done a great job at
They've
what
been a
we
model.
thought that they have been.
They've been a model for the last 3 years.
We just hit the
4
gas
years.
pedal, but they are a team that'd be a honorable game if we could go up against Detroit in the postseason.
Yes.
You got to be effing shitting me.
Yeah.
By
After
the
what
way,
we just went through.
we're gonna get some final score predictions from the room. We've played 9 games. After 9 games, we had Kevin Ricca, who had us at 3-1, 3-2, 3-3,
6-3.
4-3, 5-3. You had us losing to the Giants, 5-4. What? You had us 5-4.
I'm an optimistic guy, but I didn't
T?
think we'd be 7-2. Shit.
See, you had us
Everyone joked at me for saying
2-2,
5-4.
3-2, 3-3.
He's gonna be 5-4
You have
also.
you have 4-4. 4 and no, he's 5-4. Yeah, 5-4. Let's see what Ken had us at. Hold on.
I'm glad to be wrong.
7-2. I did 7-2.
Did you really?
Go back, of course. We wrote it down.
I told you, those
it's on
rose-colored
video.
glasses hit
I was.
every once
We were
in
like
a while.
halfway through our second red
As
breast
long as
bottle
you just
that
keep
night.
saying it, it's going to happen eventually.
It's true. It's true. I
You
remember
had us
getting
going
halfway
12
through.
wins every year since we've been starting
That's
this
not true.
podcast.
10-6. 10-6. That was my standard answer. I never said more, never said less, and it was a bad answer every time. That never worked out. Final score of the game this week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Anybody?
I'll go first.
All right, what do you got?
And I'm going with the good guys due to my 5-4 bullshit prediction.
Mhm.
And I'm saying the good guys 21, the bad guys 26. Weirdness. Did I say 29, 26? 29, 26. Good guys 29, bad guys
So
26.
confused.
I said 21 at first. I meant 9. Is
I
that
mean-
a niner?
Dude, you're like a...
29, 26, good guys.
Are you trying to sell me
Final
something?
answer.
I'm fine. I'll buy it. If I pay now, if I pay double now, can I get it delivered tomorrow? That's all I care
Just
about.
let me rewrite some of that shit. On paper.
What do you got? What's the score?
I'll say 27-17.
27-17.
Good guys.
Good guys. Redskins win. And hold on, let me just see. I do have us going 8-2, so I better go with the win. I think this is gonna be a 2-point game. I think it's gonna be 27-25. It's gonna be a weird one.
Why?
Just because it's I don't
safety
know.
dance. He's going
There's safety dancing. There's 25 is a weird number. I just
When
think
there is a safety dance on Sunday, everyone remember you heard it here.
Are you calling a walk-off safety?
I don't think you could have a walk-off safety.
Sure you can.
Sure
you can dance if you want to.
You can dance if you want to. You can dance if you want to.
Tie ball game, less than a minute. They're
28-21.
They're backed up to their end zone. They have to throw it on 3rd and 10.
We're getting some people
Next
who
thing you
are.
know, the zebra slapping his hands over his dome, and it's over.
Like,
Leo had
like a dolphin.
Are we? No. Are we? We're not a touchdown underdog. I think we're.
I saw
it's
that.
like 2.5
we
points.
opened at 2.5 favorites.
Yeah, I think we're 2.5-point favorites. It'll be interesting to see. I'll be at the game. I'd love to bring my Chicago Bear game luck with me. I'll be there. Jaden Daniels has earned the right to.
Don't forget it.
I'm not gonna. I mean, I won't. Be like, hey, Megan, listen.
All right, I should never.
Will you just
commented.
meet me at the game? I forgot it again.
You know where to find it.
Also, call Kevin. Just
Don't.
26,
26?
24. We got 23-21. We got 28-21. Sorry,
All right, well,
guys.
let's
I
get
don't
two
think
over
anyone's-
here. Hold on.
What do we got,
I
boys?
want to hear the guests.
Yeah.
Lance.
With Lance?
You got to write it down, sir.
24-17, good guys from Lance. Vic?
He says tough defense. It's a tough defense.
He's worried about the Steelers. That's a story. That's why I felt strongly about going. But go ahead. 28-25. I like it. I like it.
Did you give 2 points for Russell Wilson's ex and that meme? Is that just we're asking? Oh no, she's from Collegiate.
Richmond.
Yeah. Well, that's where he was
Collegiate.
from. So they were high school sweeties.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah. It's like Predator.
yeah, the marble. Hungry
Oh wait, no,
Hippos.
species.
And she did the side eye, like she could eat you when she was just swimming next to you back here. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
Like RG3's first wife?
Wait. Okay. Wait. We can't just be like racking on everyone's wives. We can't just be like.
I thought that's
oh,
I
wife
thought we were in the
trashing show.
tree.
Remember that other busted ass white girl?
Before we
Yeah.
start
She was
saving
at the draft,
everyone's
but she ain't here
wives.
no
I
more.
thought we were allowed to.
No, it's safe. It's a safe
She was
space.
fine for the
I
draft,
was
but
just following everybody's lead.
Nobody's watching. Don't worry. It's fine.
so we're just
start
We're
naming
just
names.
bashing one.
Give us all
don't
the
worry.
names.
Dangerous is like, yeah, well, she was tremendous at algebra. She was an excellent
was
study buddy.
my manager. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping it's not. I was at the Monday night game in what is it, 06, 07, whatever that was, when we thought we were something and Pittsburgh whooped our ass and the season was done. And there was the whole stadium was the towels. Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna have to. I don't know. We're gonna do something about Pennsylvania. I think that there's no other way around it. I mean, we're gonna have to do something about Pennsylvania. They're getting to be quite the handful. 7 days, guys. 7 days away. 7 days away.
7 days away from another Victory Tuesday.
By the way, we are absolutely, and I'm not giving up on this. I'm looking at the schedule. I know we can't do it for the Eagles game because it's a Thursday game. However, we have Cowboys, Titans, Saints, and then Eagles before we get into the last two games. We are going to.
I'm going to the Titans game.
I'm not talking about go. Okay, I'll go. I'll figure that. I'll figure out
just
a way to
letting
get
you
there.
know.
I'm saying I want to do a live call at a place which could be here. It could be at a bar. I don't care where it is. As long as we don't put the video on the game or have any audio whatsoever, it's just on us. We do the lineup thing. You know, we at the kickoff we line it up so everyone knows to line up the video. It's not hard. I've been seeing it, and we're gonna do it.
How about a largemouth bass in red with a fisheye right here for this
Yes,
catch?
yes. Okay.
For any text that could come in from anyone mad about what we're doing.
anyone's mad about what we're doing,
well, everyone said we couldn't do it forever because we can't sync up the TVs. Everything's gonna be off and blah blah blah. So
that is no longer a thing. If we just do a clap at the kickoff, it's done. People just be. I mean, that's all it is.
so now we have to skull.
There's
the
clapping.
Game kickoff.
There's
right
clapping.
now.
I
All
told
right.
you guys. By the
It's
way,
fine.
I promised
I'll
you.
skull it once.
I promised
skull
you
it
clapping.
up once for the boys.
Why are you even coming back here every Tuesday night without the clapping?
Okay.
Answer that question.
We're going 1 minute too long.
Is it
Yeah,
1 minute
and
too
now we're
long?
talking about the clap.
No, actually, dude, we have 5 minutes left.
Talking about crabs and the clap. What the hell?
Well, I mean,
For some reason, my
it's like
sack
a
itches.
did you know after school special scenario. The
more you know.
the
Right?
more you know. I'm trying to think. What,
called
what
rigged.
game it would be. I just wanted to be the
Lance
Dallas
knows.
game. Dallas game.
All right, Dallas game.
Dallas game. We're gonna do the Dallas game live. I don't think. And if anyone asks, my name's obviously Victor
As
Maddox.
general counsel, I'm going to have to look into this a little bit further to make sure.
Your name is Lance Seacrest, and your name is Pat Gareda. And I think legally we can cover all our bases on this one. Just
What's your name
listen
again?
here. What if I just did this? If you see, there I go. Now my name is Martha.
You got pink eye too.
I do. Well,
She's kind of lifting up.
No,
the one-
no,
the
it's gonna
one
be
cheek.
it's gonna be like a raspberry sorbet, just on the
Yes.
eye, and everything else will be fine.
But it's going to look pretty.
Yes,
it's seasonal. We love you guys. He's Tim Strachan.
Hey, I appreciate it. Listen, you guys know what I've been going through. I've had a rough couple weeks. Anytime I can get here, I really appreciate it. The last 5 days have been real tough, man. My wife's mother passed away unexpectedly. I ask you guys to give her some prayers, her family, in particular her father. It's been rough, but I bring it up not only for the prayers, but to say sometimes you need a break from life. And I love Tuesday nights. I love being with you guys. I love being with the board. I love just being able to get away from the craziness, So I appreciate you. Appreciate your support. Appreciate your prayers, guys.
He's Kevin Ricca.
Well, hell yeah, that's a hell of a compliment to you and I and to this board because, when you're around toughness, you understand what it means to be tough. And you've taught us that for many, many decades. So keep it rolling because you got to keep that going so we can keep remembering how it feels because you're inspiring as shit, homeboy.
Appreciate
And
it, brother.
awesome hanging out with you guys a ton all the time. And like T said, it means a lot, him saying that to you guys. And I feel the same way he does. So appreciate you, Ken, hosting all this, sir.
Well, what can I say? Love having you guys here. Tuesday's great. I love this particular night of which we shall not speak. That it can be taken over. We've allowed it to be taken over by nonsense in 2016.
Yeah, we don't have to watch that clown election.
No. But I remember like every the election years have been meaningful in our evolution as Redskins. Like 2016, we were doing the Kirk Cousins dance and not paying attention. I believe we were peeing on the fence, and you were like, "I think Trump won," and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then like in 2020, it was a whole different story. But obviously it wasn't. It was the pandemic and like shortened games, and we were
What
terrible.
were we doing to the fence in 2020?
We were probably peeing on the fence
fine.
at some point in time, and realized that we were all just going to be okay. And so here we are again, once again. So appreciate you guys for being with us, hanging out on Tuesday nights. Thank God it's Tuesday. I'm Ken Meringolo. We'll be back in 7 days. Don't touch. Don't. Hey, listen. Keep your hands above the table. I want to see them at all times. For God's sake.
Shout out.
Thank God.
Shout out to the fence.
Shout out to the fence. We'll see you guys. Let's fire it up the way we do, the way only EO can do. Our theme song. There you go. We got theme music, guys. We got theme music. We played on the way out. We are still live. Thank you, guys. By the way, this is
Ken
their
was-
Barbara Ann, Beach Boys Barbara Ann inspired
Ken was
song.
lusting. You were ogling.
You
was
you
crabs,
accused me
there
of
was
being.
clap.
It was erection night. You accused me of
There
being
was some
homoerotic.
There was definitely erection, homoeroticism.
I didn't say anything even weird. I didn't think.
Well, that's what Ken says too all the time.
Shit.